Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bitcoin Sage Show. I'm your host, Patrick, and today is December 29th, approximately 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been the holidays, and I know it's going to be a little choppy trading over the next couple of days as well as volume lowers, and people all around the world are taking time off. I've been trying to take as much time off as I can. Trying to. Let's get right into the news. There's some interesting news. I'll go through it quickly. So, lots of new class action lawsuits are starting to pop up for different ICOs, and more garbage ICOs are also coming out. So, I think you'll see much more of this coming out this entire year as regulators crack down hard on the different ICOs that have been out there for the last little while. Next, how to buy Bitcoin, the top 10 tasks people Googled in 2017. I was actually doing some research on this the other day and noticed that as well as some of the other coins. So we're going to actually develop some videos and some vlogs teaching people that type of stuff, step by step, what to do. And that actually falls in line with some of the videos I'm already working on, which is how to secure your Windows computer, how to secure your smartphone, how to encrypt a folder, or how to encrypt a USB drive. All of these basic security features that you're not used to maybe doing, but are required when you're taking full control of your finances on the blockchain and with cryptocurrency. Some interesting articles are popping up now about what blockchain will disrupt next. And again, I'll include these in the description. I'm not going to go through everything, but anything that's worth reading, I'll include in our description so you guys can go through these yourselves. Deloitte goes over the highlights of growth of blockchain technology. Great article here. I'll include that. It's from NASDAQ. And some of the biggest crypto exchanges are shutting out new users because they can't keep up with demand. And that's pretty amazing, I think. That's, I think, works on two ends. The fact is that regulators are demanding that these exchanges do the right thing and force people to provide all their KYC information. So I know a lot of people stuck on Bittrex that are working through those issues as well, and other exchanges. So you have to understand this is all on you. So you can't be on an exchange that's going to cause you these types of problems. And I think that's a really important one, and that leads to the next story, which is South Korea is not banning Bitcoin, but FUD drives price down. So that was the big news yesterday, that South Korea was banning Bitcoin or clamping down on exchanges or doing something specific because they were worried about they were going to do some sort of a government intervention. So that dropped Bitcoin pricing by $1,000. And that's the first time, to be honest with you, I've seen some manipulation of Bitcoin in almost the last 6 weeks. There's been very, very little attempted manipulation of Bitcoin. Not like what we used to see. It was frequent and you could tell what it was and it worked. This is the first thing I've seen actually come across the wire that, I could tell it probably wasn't true, but it was affecting price. And we're at a point now with some of the Bitcoin pricing that these are very important timings and price points. And if we don't get out of this zone here, we're setting up some really bad charts and a bad slide down for Bitcoin. So I think that's where you're starting to see these attempts being made at the right time. So these things kind of correlate together and are important to know. Africans are the first multinational blockchain land registry to be launched in Kenya and Ghana. So that's exciting to see these blockchain land registries happening. ARC Chief Catherine Wood says Bitcoin is a bigger idea than Apple. Totally agree with her on that one. Okay, there was Bitcoin drops as South Korea says it could close exchanges. India becomes world's 5th largest economy, leapfrogging France and England. I think this is a great article because it really does show you the shifts in global politics, global economics, and I think more and more we're going to start to see other countries superseding the old Western countries, as well as those countries who choose to take a digital advantage will also start running up that list even more so. So very interesting read there. South Korea again, the crackdown. So that news got everywhere. And I think that's what helped everybody drop the price a little bit. So somebody bought some really cheap Bitcoin over the last few days. I like this article. I've actually talked about this post a couple months back, but I think it actually is a good example of a simple formula for becoming a Bitcoin millionaire. And it's by Wences Cesar. And he basically ended up saying something simple at one of these Bitcoin conferences. Take 1% of what you own, buy it in Bitcoin, leave it for the next 5 years, ideally 10 years, and you'll either lose 1%, which most people can afford to lose, or you'll make millions. And you know what? Out of all the formulas, I'd probably give people something like this. So if you only have, 10 grand in your savings, take 1% of that, which isn't much money. Hopefully you have more, and then put it into Bitcoin. I think that's probably the safest thing you can advise people to do. More South Korean FUD. And then Russia unveils proposed regulation putting limits on ICOs and investors. So the regulatory clampdown has begun. We're starting to see it around the world with everybody. Ripple rides up crypto charts, knocking Bitcoin Cash out of number 3 spot. So exciting news. We're going to jump right into the charts. We're going to look at Bitcoin here to get started. And you know what? To be honest with you, we're making some sideways movement, but the fact that we bounced off of 16,500 and then this bounce back down, we're in some treacherous territory over the next few days. So I really, really, really need us to hold above this 14,000 level going forward. I'm going to be looking at the next few days and up to January 3rd as a very important time to see whether we're going to start a bounce upward, which is what I am expecting and hoping for as well. But at the same time, I know that any of the closes, if we get some consistent closes over the next few days below 14,000, I'm going to start turning very negative and moving a lot of stuff out of BTC. So we're in a very important time frame over the next few days. And the worst part is knowing that we're in holiday mode, which means that a lot of markets aren't as full as they used to be. So volume might be lower, which makes it easier for folks to manipulate and drive prices either up or down. So I don't know, there's going to be some very interesting stuff happening over the next few days. So keep watch of that 14,000 level and what we're closing at. Let's jump to Ethereum. Ethereum's been, after a nice little drawdown here, has been recovering and moving back upward. So I'd say as soon as we get over our resistance at 0.52, we should see another run up. But Ethereum looks great, doing a great job here. Let's jump to Bitcoin Cash. It's kind of fallen apart as expected. It seems to really have very little support, so it either runs up really fast and then it tends to, like a leaky tire, just slowly fall apart. This fall apart was pretty gradual, and as you can see, almost to the T, we bounced off of our support line that we have drawn in here at 0.166 and are bouncing off of that. So that's always a good sign if we bounce off some of this resistance and not fall through it. So this could mean some positive moods for Bitcoin Cash in the next little while. Let's jump to Ripple, who's again just blowing through all expectations. I've been long this one from the 4,000 level. Just recently we went re-long. And some big BitMEX longs as well that we've pulled off here. So just tremendous. I really can't believe Ripple, but I knew it was coming. I was chatting with a bunch of traders over the last week or two, and we were laughing and joking and both saying that, there's no reason for it, but we are confident that Ripple will be at $20 to $50 by the end of 2018. Simply because of price, not because of it deserves to be there or it's valuable enough to be there or it's a game changer in the cryptocurrency industry. And I think we're seeing that in the price. I mean, I've seen it for so long at 21 cents that now seeing it at $1.20 and $1.50 is just mind-blowing to me. I'm not going to fight the trend. I may hate this as a coin and as a concept, but I'm not going to fight this. I think one of the best methods you can always watch for are the breakouts of previous high levels. So for example, this one, when we hit, let's say 9,105, I would have been using that as a breakout point and a buy. So again, if you were in at that point, I would be buying, and then you would have caught this big jump up and you would have gotten out at that point too. So these are the kinds of things that are happening out there. The more I pull back this chart from the breakout when we were buying, it was around 3,900 and we've gotten all the way up to 13,000. So just tremendous, a 4x on Ripple. Let's jump to Dash. Dash has been going sideways, as a lot of the altcoins have, and is starting to bounce and recover. Again, some of these bounces, when I start to see consistent bounces like this one and the Bitcoin Cash bounce that I started to see right around here too, I really start to watch Bitcoin and make sure that these aren't correlating with the beginning of a downtrend in Bitcoin. So watch out for that. Dash has done some nice sideways movement. It's consolidated well, so I'd say once we break out above 0.080, we should start seeing some pretty good upward movement. Let's go to IOTA. It's been consolidating sideways, and again, at this point, we're looking for a bit of a breakout. So we'll see what happens if this resistance level holds at 24,600. I would be using that as a stop limit to hold this down. Litecoin has really fallen apart and given back quite a bit of the gains that it had over the while, as well as fallen apart through some decent resistance levels. I didn't even have them in here because I was out of Litecoin back over here. So I don't know. I think Litecoin still has some good legs, but I think a lot of the new money that it was receiving is going into Ripple. It's amazing how people just want to get into something a little bit cheaper. It makes them feel like they have more coins. And they want Ripple to be the next, let's say Bitcoin or whatever is cheap. They want it to be the next big thing. Let's look at Neo, one of my big favorites, and has held up extremely well as it's been kind of consolidating upward here. Still a big buy in my mind. This is the level I had set in here that it's just breaking through now at 0.0046. So at this point, you should see a nice little bounce through that level and up. So this Neo coin is fully in play and very bullish on that one. Monero. Again, some good consolidation, a bounce off of that resistance or support level, and looks like it's also going to make a move upward. So everything seems to be moving in the right direction. Let's go with some NEEM. Again, did some good consolidation over the last few days and is now bouncing up. So I'm extremely bullish and positive on this one as well. And that's it for our coins for today. So Ripple is just amazing to watch. And here's the big thing to also watch. These big run-up candles, you need to watch those carefully because those big run-ups are the ones you want to get out at if you want a dollar cost average back in, or if you want to get out altogether, or if you're running a BitMEX long or short position. These are the moments you're really looking for and waiting for. Big long candles that you can take advantage of. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with the Bitcoin chart here and just that clear understanding how important this 14,000 level really is over the next day, 2 days. We need to hold above 14,000. If we start to see a breakdown below 14,000 that holds over these days, it may get very negative. So let's hold that carefully. Let's watch some of our altcoins to see what's happening here. But see, you can see a big bounce happening now off of Bitcoin Cash. Starting to see probably a bounce off of Dash as well. So we'll see, but those are usually not good predictors for Bitcoin pricing, but these aren't always 100%, but important for you to watch and important for you to correlate as you are trading. All right, guys and gals, have a fantastic day and take some time off for the holidays, set your stop limits, and make sure you're hedged correctly on your trades. And that way you can enjoy some time